Signing up with you, Pat, gave me the kickstart to actually start just, the momentum and the motivation just to get it started again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, got it. Can I ask, like, what's been some of the physical changes that you've experienced then over the last 3.5 months in terms of strength, endurance, weight?
But I mean, obviously, I dropped 8 kilos at one point, a little bit more than 8 kilos, which I'm probably at the best weight that I've been for a long, long time. In terms of my strength, I mean, yeah, I mean, my shoulders especially are getting stronger and stronger. Because I'm just relentlessly hitting them. I mean, the workout that you set me the other day with the 5 sets of muscle ups complexes, and each one of the complexes was 3 muscle ups. Now, 3 months ago, 3 muscle ups was my personal best, but I hadn't been able to do it for about 6 months. Yeah. So then I just did it the other day. I did 5 sets of 3, you know, in about 10 minutes. So, and then from there went into the 10 to 1.
I destroyed you, mate. I'm so sorry.
Because I wasn't tired enough. Yeah.
Bet you were sore for a few days, innit, after that?
Yeah, that was the day before yesterday. So yeah.
So can I ask, Steve, what has been some of your mental, emotional wins over the last 3.5 months?
I mean, the main one is getting the discipline back in, you know, because you know what's required. Uh, Most people, most of the planet have no idea what's required to do, what we do. So it's been good for me, from a mental and an emotional point of view to really focus and get my head down and just do the things that I have to do, whether that's preparing food, keeping a food diary, doing the training. And it's especially important when you do it on the days that you really don't want to do any of it. And then when you do it on the days where you don't want to do it, that's when you get your mental and emotional lift, because you haven't
Mm.
failed yourself, And this is what most people do is they let themselves down every day, you know. So it's good to get back into the habit of not letting myself down.
Can I ask, Steve, how are you feeling now versus you in week one?
Yeah, I mean, I feel a lot healthier. I'm sleeping a lot better. Yeah, I'm generally feeling much healthier. And I'm not the only one who notices it. It's like everybody notices it.
In what way?
I'm walking around the park this morning with my dog, and there's a fella in the park that I see most mornings. I just got my shorts and my t-shirt on. He went, "Look at you." He went, "You look super fit and healthy." This is an old boy about, I don't know, 70 years old. He went, "You look super fit and healthy." He said, "You must be really looking after yourself." And
Right.
I was at the funeral yesterday and everybody was commenting, "You look as if you're in good shape."
My
So yeah,
condolences for that, by the way, Steve. And what's keeping you going, Steve?
yeah, I've just got things that I want to do. I've got to think, I've got places where I want to go and things that I want to achieve. And I mean, I've done a lot of my life already, Pat, but there's much more that I want to do.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think signing up to this has given me, like I say, the motivation, and the discipline, which then starts transferring into other parts of your life as well, Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
curious to know, Steve, like, how is your working between myself and Coach T? In terms of, this is like your first online coaching experience, right?
Yeah.
How did you find using the training app, the video feedback, the community, Slack? What's your experience with that, like with that? What stood out to you?
Well, yeah, I mean the training app, the training apps are both very good. You know what I mean? Uh, the community thing, I don't really engage in very much. You probably noticed that. It's
That's
not
so
my
cool.
thing, Pat. Yeah, it's not my thing. Uh, and that's the same in most areas of my life. It's like I'm not really interested in making too many friends or doing any of that sort of stuff. It's like, I've got the people around me that I need. I just try to focus everything where I am. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's not to say that there isn't some very decent, good people in the group, because there are, obviously, clearly. But it's just like I don't really have the time and the energy to put into it. But I
In
mean,
terms of,
I watch you with some interest, Pat, actually, because you're clearly what I would call an awake individual.
What do you mean by
Do you
that?
know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that? Well,
Awake
I
individual.
think a lot of people in the last 5 years or so went through an awakening
I
since
have,
the
yeah.
COVID thing. Yeah. And they went through an awakening. They started seeing the world very differently to how they saw it before COVID. And they started to realize that, well, lots of things. I mean, clearly, about processed foods, about, you know, I'm sure you don't drink tap water, all that sort of stuff. I'm sure you don't rely on the health service, which isn't designed to take care of our health.
Mm,
Uh, so I'll watch what you do, and I also watch because you've not only woken up to how corrupt government is and everything else, but you've also tuned into how you move yourself forward with manifestation and that sort of stuff. I can see that you're on that journey too.
yeah, big time. Big time.
Yeah, yeah. So that impresses me a lot.
Oh,
When I see people doing that, because there's so few of us. We're up against 90% of the population. We're not up against them, but we're
I get
having
it.
to live in a world where 90% of the population haven't got the faintest clue about what's going on or where they're going.
I'm just curious about like your experience in terms of, we've never met online. It still like blows my mind how like we've never met in person. I was just a random dude on Instagram. And
Yeah,
then we just like started working together. Like what's your thoughts on that?
yeah. Well, I mean, firstly, you're very engaging. You know,
Mm,
you're an easy person to talk to, uh, and work with. You know. That is one of the key things to being successful in business is to be able to engage with your clients, and for your clients to like you and trust you. And if you can create that within the business, then the business succeeds. It's as simple as that.